I have to tell you how humbled we are to have Maggie Anderson with us. Ms. Anderson, as you can see for yourself, is in many ways an economic Harriet Tubman. They just went out and started buying goods and services from black businesses for an entire year. That's leadership, that's vision, and we're proud that she's here. Please give her another hand.
I'm still just amazed by the turnout. It really means a lot to me that Philadelphia came out on a beautiful night like this. So many options on what to do, but they chose to get together and talk about economic empowerment, supporting black businesses. Usually not a very sexy or exciting topic, but that you all came out, got dressed, got in your cars, parked down here, and came to support us at the African American Museum means a great deal to me. So for me to see that Philadelphia is behind us is really going to keep this movement going. So thank you.
PRWT, the African American Chamber, the Urban League of Philadelphia, and NORM, and the NAMD didn't call me here to treat me like a queen, to join your chorus of praise. My family and I, in the empowerment experiment, have become the face of a national movement to support black businesses and economically empower our neighborhoods and offer our kids more local business owners to look up to as role models. You've all heard of the empowerment experiment. You know that we're an overly credentialed couple of black yuppies from Oak Park, Illinois, with 2 toddler girls, and we decided voluntarily, on our own, in front of the whole world to see, to take a public stand and completely live off black businesses for an entire year.
That when you spend your dollar out of the community in which you live, the community in which you spend your money becomes richer and richer. The community out of which you take your money becomes poorer and poorer.
We have lost so many businesses in our community, and we've proven the direct correlation from the flight of those businesses and the plight of our communities, that our kids are choosing gangs over college. We didn't have the same kind of social problems that we used to have when we had thriving black businesses. So I don't care what you're doing in your life, all of us care about what's going on with our kids, what's going on in our communities, the violence, the drug abuse, and all of that can be solved if we bring our businesses back.
CNN's Black in America never reported on the fact that our dollar stays in our community for 6 hours and only 2% of our money makes it back to our community. They don't discuss how that phenomenon might contribute to the disaster in Detroit or the crisis in Newark and Oakland, but they show in great and horrific detail the social crises that the black face has come to symbolize.
Not only do we lose by taking our money someplace else and spending it, when we try and spend it in our own community, we're trapped because we haven't had sense enough to set up stores and control the businesses of our community.
Well, there's 2 things you can do to get started, and then there's a couple of tips. The things we always tell people to do is, first and foremost, put your money, put at least some of your money in a black bank or a black credit union. So that's number 1. There's no reason that we can't do that. The second thing I always ask people to do is to make sure they're using black professionals. So in terms of our household and business needs, those are privately held companies that are not franchising with black businesses. We have CompoTax, we have other professionals out there with their tax prep firms. So it's tax season. Make sure you use your professionals.
I know that some of you attain a sense of worth and accomplishment from the fact that you can afford the most luxurious vacations, expensive automobiles, and reside in the whitest suburbs. I know I do. And that you have never considered reconciling all of that wealth with the debt you have to your community by putting most of that money in a black bank, by making sure that you have a black insurance broker, financial advisor, staying at black hotels and black-owned B&Bs for those vacations, and at least putting some of your investments and letting them being managed by a black-owned investment firm. You won't even acknowledge that all those achievements you tout come with the duty to support your own people.
We should own and operate and control the economy of our community. You would never find, you can't open up a black store in a white community. White man won't even patronize you. And he's not wrong. He got sense enough to look out for himself. And you who don't have sense enough to look out for yourself.
We found specifically with middle class and upper class households, so that's what we study, and that's what I personally target because we have so much of our money, and that group seems to have the most disdain for black businesses. In that group, we found that 2% of that money, from $75,000 household income and above, 2% of their money makes it back to the Black community. We studied if they were to grow that money, grow that spend from 2% to 10%, what would happen in our community. What they found is we could create potentially 1 million jobs. And it wasn't just the jobs that we create, it would be like creating a whole new H&R Block, McDonald's, 7-Eleven, Subway. I think it was the top 10 franchises. We were to recreate those franchises, only employ in the community, replicate all of their brand equity, their marketing, their cash, all of that stuff, and put that into our community. That will be the impact of that small shift in spending.
Black people have to play a better role in this economy. We can't just be the consumers, the employees. We have to be the owners. We have to be part of Wall Streets and the main streets. People from all different kinds of races should be shopping at our businesses without even knowing it. So I'm not proud of America until America reaches its true ideal, until you are a part of the American economy, not just the cogs in the machine that keep it going.
But you will let anybody come in and control the economy of your community, control the housing, control the education, control the jobs, control the businesses.
I always tell folks is to go to my organizations like National Alliance of Market Developers. You can just call. They tell me that you're not calling. Call and ask about a Black-owned gift shop, a Black-owned optometrist. If you're to call in Philadelphia, they'll tell you exactly where you can find stuff like that. So that's the biggest tip of all. Make sure you're engaged the organizations that know who the top quality business owners are in your area.
There are a bunch of us, like Harold Epps, like Jeff Kent, owner of Cognus IT, where I got my computer, like my dear Jude, owner of Minuteman Press right here in Philly, where I get my business cards, or like Philly's own Carlton Langley, here tonight, owner of Social Hubris, who's redesigning my website. With some of our smaller businesses, owners of our web-based travel agencies, our accountants, our lawyers, our distributors of high-quality Black-owned makeup and personal care products and jewelry companies, our sweet potato pie making, incense and shea butter selling, handcrafted Afrocentric jewelry hustling, everyday entrepreneurs. The empowerment experiment belongs to Philly. And we are going to make sure they see Philadelphia, educated, patriotic, productive, stereotype negating Philadelphia.
I love NAMD, and I hope to see everyone at the National Conference, which is coming home to Chicago, my hometown. So let's make sure that we make it a big party, and NAMD, maybe you can bring some of that Philly spirit to Chicago, because we definitely need it. Please visit ourblackyear.com, www.ourblackyear.com.